a corrupt mayor, an underground resistance, and a slew of crazy characters. I'm Weise, aka Thomas, and I'd like to welcome you to the Streets of Rogue, a new game developed by Matt Dabrowski and published by Tiny Build Games. Available now on Steam Early Access for $14.99, together we can join the resistance and take down the mayor in this action-packed, co-op, roguelike experience like no other. Alright guys, so Streets of Rogue. Basically the story goes that you're the member of a resistance, which is a semi-organized group of rebels trying to take down the corrupt mayor and bring back the city. Basically this mayor ran a really deceitful campaign full of a lot of corruption and things like that, and since he's been in office, the crime in the city has skyrocketed. There's more gangs and more drug dealer violence and all this different stuff going on, so the resistance wants to bring back order by any means necessary. You are told that you cannot let anyone get in your way of the cause as you travel through the Streets of Rogue. So kind of a basic storyline, but an overall idea to just kind of get you into the mindset of where we're going to be at. Now, moving into the actual gameplay here. So the typical flow of the game has you progress floor by floor through a city in a procedurally generated world. Each floor actually assigns you a random set of missions that you complete. That could include anything from murdering someone, acquiring a specific item, rescuing a prisoner, or freeing a gorilla, all these crazy things out there that you can do. And all these different ideas are, again, procedurally generated and different every time you play. So in order to help the resistance with their cause, you have to complete the missions that are assigned to you on the floor, then you hop in the elevator and move to the next level. Right now there's about 3 different levels I believe you can play. I've beat it quite a few times now for what's in the current stage of early access in version 20i, I believe. 20i is in Idaho, where's where I'm from. So basically you go through and using any means necessary, you got to complete this mission. So that means you can use whatever special skills your character has to your advantage. So basically what I mean by character, you start each round by picking a class that you'll use until you die. By round I mean you start at the hub, the headquarter home base area, pick a character, start in, and you'll go down level by level as far as you can without dying or until you reach the end of the current game right now. And as the time goes on from early access, more levels will be added and things like that. So basically with this character, these classes include both typical and very, very untypical characters as well. So for example, you have kind of a normal soldier class. It's a class that starts with all these different weapons and heavy armor and things like that. So if you're more of the run and gun play style, you just want to kick doors open, ask questions later after you shoot people. Shoot people first, ask questions later, I guess the way that saying goes. That's one way you can play. Or maybe you might want to take a stealth approach. So you can have a hacker or an assassin ninja dude, and the hacker can tamper with computers and override gun turrets, open up locked safes and gates and stuff like that, and kind of sneak in rather than trying to take a full-on assault by using guns and everything like that. Every character for the most part has some type of positive and negative. So the hacker, for example, doesn't have as good resistance or doesn't start with any guns, but he has extra hacking skill that he can do. He can hack things that other people can't, for example. There's also other crazy characters, you can be a gorilla eventually if you unlock that. So with a gorilla, it's got very heavy melee attacks that you can do this strong charge thing, and it knocks people through walls and destroys environments. So truly, this game lets you play however you like, and you can basically approach scenarios multiple different ways, just kind of assessing the situation, figuring out the best route that you want to take, which isn't always just kicking in the front door and killing everybody there. That's possible, but you don't have to do it that way, and it was kind of nice seeing that element. As you complete certain achievements, you'll actually unlock additional characters like I mentioned as well. So for example, you can bribe a certain number of cops, and that'll unlock the police officer. If you have a certain amount of alcoholic drinks within one play match or one sequence, I guess, without dying, then you unlock the bartender. If you buy so many things from a shop, then you unlock the banker or something like that, I believe as well. There's ghosts and werewolves and all these different crazy characters you can unlock, which is really fun. I actually had a lot of fun unlocking characters. That's kind of my main way of getting replayability out of it. And I've unlocked all the current characters in the game except for 3 or 4 of them, with about 8 hours of playtime in there, just to kind of get you an idea. Also, as you complete these different missions and different floors, you earn a currency that looks kind of like a potato. I'm not sure if it's a potato currency or what it is, but those can actually be used back at the home base hub, and you can actually unlock different weapons, perk skills, mission rewards, and things like that you'll use in future runs. So that's where you get that roguelike element again. And then basically, as you go through the gameplay, your character levels up, which allows you to pick different skills, and those skills are generated based off your unlocked skill list from these rewards. And you just kind of keep progressing that way. It's really fun, and because the different characters all have unique aspects to it. It changes up the way you want to play the game. And it really doesn't get old for me. I mean, again, I've put in 8 hours and definitely want a lot more time. Finally, to wrap this little gameplay section up here, the game actually allows you to play with up to 3 other people in a co-op medley. So basically you can have like one hacker, one soldier, one guerrilla, one banker, you know, all working together, and you can use your combined skills to be able to go through and take on these environments and be able to approach any situation that comes at you in almost any way possible. It can be a lot of fun. So it's a way to expand the game some. That can both be locally or online as well. There's also Twitch integration like TinyBuild does with a lot of their things. I personally haven't experimented with that too much because I'm streaming on Beam. I'm hoping TinyBuild starts doing that in the future. But that's another fun thing that they always add in, where the chat can participate in your gameplay. So if you're a streamer, that's a cool way to get into it as well. So I always like to talk about the visuals, and as you guys can probably see here, it's very much a pixel art game, and it's done decently, but for me, it's not too much to look at. There's nothing that really sets it apart from anything else that I've seen, and I'm a huge fan of pixel art, so I like this game style and the art style here. And, you know, a lot of the character customization is fun to play with. The character classes themselves have extra detail, like the gorilla is well done and things like that too. But in the current version, the world, the environment, all of that just kind of feels a little bit lacking to me. It's expected because it is procedurally generated, so it's very easy to see like the different textures and patterns being reused to form the different buildings that are generated and the floor tiles. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, and again, because of that procedural generation, I expected it, but it's something to kind of note though too. You know, visually you aren't getting some crazy good quality or some amazing pixel art like you see in Fez or something like that. You know, the procedural generation is great. The rooms that are generated are amazing. I never really saw 2 or 3 rooms that look the same in a small clump. It's very well coded in that sense. There's rooms of all different sizes and kinds and different formations, you know, different generations of those rooms. So you don't really get bored with that, which is great. And I account that towards the visuals. But again, as far as the tiles themselves and the current state of the game in this version of early access, it just didn't do that much for me. So I did want to note that as well. You know, there are things that added to the environment as far as, you know, different environmental objects and stuff that just kind of shows you like the scummy city that you're living in. And the floors have different things, like there's the slums, there's like a furnace type level, industrial level. So you get to see those environmental objects as well, and those are well done. But again, it's just something that it gets repeated so often because of the procedural generation that it, you know, it's something to again note. It doesn't necessarily take away, but it doesn't add either. So moving down my list, I always like to talk about the audio or the dialogue in the game too, and I have to say the soundtrack for Streets of Rogue is absolutely fantastic. A lot of people actually talked about it in the Steam discussions too, which is great. I don't normally see that. So you can actually purchase it as DLC in the Steam store for $2.99. It fits the gameplay really well, I think. It's kind of this like old retros kind of Streets of Rage inspired soundtrack almost too. All the dialogue in the game is actually text-based. There's no voice work or anything like that, but there is a lot of different sound effects for the different weapons, doors, grenades, glass breaking, walls getting destroyed, all that type of stuff, and that stuff was really well done. It fits this kind of like comic tune with everything that they have here. So, you know, the voice acting, like I said, isn't there, but it's also not really needed. But the script writing they did for the actual text-based conversations is great. It's full of different humor and jokes, and you know, the people that are walking around the city, some of them have some very static lines that you get bored of, and there's no real reason to talk to them. But going through the tutorial even, there's a lot of different jokes there with different things, and you can kind of get an overall satire and a feel for the game. So I think as the developers continue to expand on this dialogue options, in the sense that you know, what the pool is that gets pulled from for the random citizen. Not so much that you have options to speak to them, but that they can pull from a different pool to give more variety. As long as they keep expanding that, I think they're going to do a great job. So, you know, in the audio department, there wasn't much expectation I had anyway for this game, but, you know, I was pretty pleased with what I found. Again, the soundtrack's great. I have it myself. I'm going to be playing the music in the background here through the gameplay, and really, you know, like I said, it's quite good. I liked it a lot. Replayability wise, I always like to mention this as well, because I think that's where the value of the game comes from, and I've already talked about quite a bit of it here. So there are a lot of unlockables in this game, and I mean a lot. And at this point, we're only in early access, so who knows what's going to come in the future. But there's new stuff coming out all the time, it feels like. I've already mentioned the characters. I want to say there's close to 20, maybe over 20 characters now. And again, I have like all about 3 or 4 of them, and that's with 8 hours into it. There's also different weapons and gadgets you can get for rewards from missions. So every time you complete a quest or a mission, you get a little reward, and it gets pulled from this list of unlockables that you have. You get traits for when you level up and finish a floor and things like that too. So you unlock different traits that you can acquire. And then there's other little things too. Like I said, the characters, and there's more things that he's looking to add as well. There's also a plan to allow for seeds to be entered, so you can actually enter a custom seed and play on the same map that someone else played on. There's daily runs right now for leaderboards. That's in kind of an early stage, but you get to do a daily, and kind of like a Binding of Isaac daily or other roguelike dailies from Enter the Gungeon and things like that. So you get to do that every day as well. And there's also this thing called mutators, which change the way the game is played. So basically with mutators, it's something that can either handicap you, such as only using melee items, or maybe there's riots in the street all the time. So all the citizens will attack you on sight and each other on sight too. So basically with all that stuff there and the procedural generation and the multiplayer, I think it's a game that I can come back to over and over. Again, just doing the review, I put in 8 hours and I didn't even mean to. It was literally, hey, I just like this game. I want to keep playing it. One thing I didn't even mention is there's also future features planned, which is going to be the create a character. So I don't know exactly what this is going to be, but it'll allow you to create like kind of a custom class. I'm sure there'll be like skill points you can allocate for the different things. You pick a few starting skills or something like that too, and maybe they'll have negative trade-offs. But the create a character just sounds like even more replay value to me. So overall, to wrap this up, Streets of Rogue is a game I really like. It's in early access, but for me to pay $15 for a game that I've got 8 hours into without really touching multiplayer, without really touching mutators yet, only doing a couple daily runs and still having things to unlock, I mean, seriously, like, what can you really ask for? I mean, I guess I got, what is that, $50 or $1.50 an hour that I paid right now if I have 8 hours with $15 total. I think that's right. I'm doing math in my head real quick. So yeah, I mean, it's not bad at all in my opinion. I think that's well worth the spent. With again it being for early access, I'm pretty impressed where it's at. The developer's very chatty on Twitter as well. He's doing things by himself, but he's doing a great job at it. Tiny Build always puts out great stuff with their publishing, and with their name behind it, I just have confidence that this is going to continue to grow into a game that we're all going to love. So really guys, I mean, I cannot recommend this game enough. If you're even the slightest bit a fan of roguelike RPG action games like Binding of Isaac, Enter the Gungeon, and the like that, I think this is one that you're going to want to check out. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Check out my other reviews from my playlists that I have here. And if you guys want to see me play this game, I'm actually going to be streaming it from time to time over at beam.pro/wisegamer. Link will be down in the description. And really, I mean, again, it's a game that I like to play. I'm going to try to find other people to play multiplayer with. And yeah, I'll be streaming it and maybe doing some gameplay on the channel. So that said, thanks for watching guys. I've been Weise, aka Thomas, and I'll see you in the next video. So you thought the video was over. Well, if you made it this far, you made it to the outro screen, so I really appreciate you guys for sticking out this long. Honestly, you guys are the ones that support me the most, that hang out to the very end of the video, and I just love you guys for that. So if you want to leave a comment down below that you found this, maybe a little Easter egg or something like that, that'd be kind of cool. Sometimes I leave little hidden Easter eggs in the outro card, by the way. Previous video, if you guys made it this far, again, previous video, Beat Cop, you guys absolutely smashed. I think we had like 300 views within the first 12 hours, which is like a 25% retention from my subscriber count to videos, which is pretty good in YouTube terms, especially being that I haven't uploaded a video in like 4 months. So, or not a review for like 4 months, I should say. So thank you guys so much. You guys that are listening to this are the ones that stick it out to the end, and I really appreciate you. As a treat for you, like I said, if you want to leave a little comment down below for an Easter egg type thing, say that you found it. And then check the last video, Beat Cop. There was a little Easter egg I put in the outro there as well. So see you guys next time though. I appreciate it. If you want to watch me stream this game some, I'll be at beam.pro/wisegamer. I'm also putting together a website for the community and kind of doing all my reviews in one place and things like that too. So little updates and some hints for you guys, for the guys that really stick it out to the end of the video. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.